This is an iPhone XS Max, an iPhone that may be starting to get a bit old, but is most definitely still totally usable today, and I still see them being widely used out in public. As you can tell, this device is in pretty rough shape. The back of this phone is completely shattered, the edges are all sorts of banged and scraped up, and the screen is also shattered. However, this phone does still work. I received this iPhone XS Max in an iPhone lot that I bought a couple of months ago. It was labeled as for parts only. However, a lot of the phones in the device lot ended up functioning, including this iPhone XS Max. However, when I received it, I thought that it didn't work at all because of one small problem. The charging port does not work. The only way that I was capable of charging this device and finding out that it even worked at all was by putting it on a wireless charger as a last-ditch effort. To my surprise, the phone did actually charge. It took a couple of hours to turn on, but once it did, I was met with an iPhone XS Max with no passcode on it, but someone's iCloud account. Long story short, there was no other devices on the iCloud account. I ended up finding a way to reset the iCloud password, sign out of the phone, and left the phone unlocked and ready to be fixed and reused for somebody else. It's now been a few months, it's been lying around, but I've finally gotten the parts and the time to fix this device. In this video, I'll be giving this iPhone XS Max a whole new life and bringing a phone that I thought initially was completely dead back into a fully usable state. In order to do this, I'm going to need three things: a new housing, a new screen, and a new battery. As on top of all the other issues, the battery in this device is at 78% health, which is totally unusable. The battery dies after just a couple hours of being left on standby. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get the parts unboxed that I'll need to fix this device. I've got two different boxes that should have everything I need. Starting with the brown box. Cutting the 3 tape seals allows me to lift up the lid of the box. I'm not sure which package contains which parts, but it looks like this is just the housing. Unfortunately, the only color housing I was able to find for a decent price, and by that I mean below $50, was a silver one. The price for the parts for this phone have gone up exponentially, way more than I expected, and it was just unreasonable to spend more than the phone is worth on the parts. So I picked up a silver housing that should be in decent shape. Really, anything's better than how it looks right now. I'm going to miss the gold color, but this is better than nothing. Pulling the housing out of the bag, you can see the rear glass is in very nice shape. There's not very many marks at all. Around the camera lens is clean. The sides of the phone does have some markings, which is to be expected. The silver color does scratch super easily. However, the silver color can also be polished with a metal polish to bring back the original finish, which is something I may try doing in this video. However, it looks a lot better in my opinion than the current state of this XS Max, and I think the silver color looks pretty nice. With that opened, I can move my attention to the ominous gray bag. Cutting it open reveals yet another bag, and cutting open this one, I can pull out a third bag. How many bags are there? We'll cut this open. And finally, we can pull out an iPhone XS Max with a completely shattered back glass, but a nice, relatively clean, kind of smudgy screen, and a new battery contained inside of the broken housing. Now, you may be wondering, why didn't I just buy individual parts? Well, yet again, it comes down to the cost. Unfortunately, the price of the parts has become so expensive that buying an individual housing, screen, and battery would have cost close to $150. That is buying OEM parts, as I refuse to use aftermarket repair parts. There's nothing that beats OEM quality, even if it has a few blemishes. Unfortunately, the phone itself is only worth about $130 today. So financially, it did not make sense to buy brand new parts. Therefore, I'm pulling parts the easiest way that I can. This iPhone XS Max screen does have a few scratches. However, it's better than the totally shattered one currently on the phone. It looks like this phone doesn't have any charge right now. I'll put it on a charger to make sure it does work. And then once I've ensured the parts are functional, it's time to begin the repair and bring this iPhone XS Max back to life. Now, before it makes sense to open up and start working on this iPhone XS Max, first I need to remove the good parts from the parts device that I've purchased, remove the 2 bottom pentalobe screws, and with the device heated up to soften the adhesive on the screen, it's not too difficult to lift it up and create a small gap with a metal pry tool, where I can then fit a plastic pick and cut the adhesive around all 4 sides of the screen. Separate the screen from the top of the phone, and then it simply opens up like a book. With the phone opened up, I can remove a total of 7 screws covering all the connectors for the screen and battery. Which reveals all the connectors I'll need to access. First, I'll disconnect the battery, make sure I don't short anything out, then disconnect the new screen along with the cable for the earpiece speaker. And there's one more connector for the screen. Now it's free. Next, in order to easily remove the battery without breaking the adhesive tape while pulling it out, the only way is to remove the dock connector components such as the Taptic engine and the speaker to make enough room to pull it out. With the speaker and Taptic engine removed, there's now enough room for me to grab the pull tabs for the battery adhesive and pull them out without them snapping off. So unfortunately, 2 of the battery strips snapped anyways. So I'm gonna have to resort to my old method of just brute forcing the battery out. Hopefully the ones up here won't snap like those did, because it's really inconvenient and makes it a lot harder to remove the battery. With all of the parts that I need now removed from the parts phone, it's time to heat up and open the gold iPhone XS Max so that I can finally give it a new life instead of it sitting around broken in a drawer. With the device heated up, I can once again remove the 2 bottom pentalobe screws. Due to the cracks on the screen, it's going to be very difficult to stick a suction cup on there. As you can see, I really don't get any grip at all. However, it looks like the screen is already lifting up a little bit. It shouldn't be too difficult to remove it without a suction cup. I don't have to worry as much about breaking this display as it's already shattered. With the screen lifted open, I can now once again remove the 7 screws that secure the brackets covering all of the connectors down. With the brackets removed, I can once again disconnect the battery and the 2 connectors for the screen, along with the cable for the earpiece speaker, and the damaged screen is now free. Now the next step is going to be removing the logic board itself from this iPhone XS Max, along with the Face ID components to ensure that Face ID still works once the repair is complete. First, I'll start by disconnecting all the connectors. I'll also remove the SIM card tray, as that's also holding in the logic board. Now there's only 4 screws holding the logic board into place. First is a standoff at the top, and then just 3 standard Phillips head screws. And just like that, the logic board is now free from the phone. I spoke too soon. There are 2 hidden connectors up at the top. After unplugging the 2 of them, the logic board is now free from the phone. It's impressive how much they can shove into a board this small. It's because they sandwich 2 different layers on top of each other. Separating this would give you 2 different boards with contact points connecting the 2 together. Now I'll also need to remove the Face ID components from the gold housing. It's inconvenient how the cables run underneath the battery. After a lot of careful prying, the Face ID sensors come free, and that's now all the parts that need to be removed from the gold housing. Actually, I spoke too soon. I also need to remove the original camera. After a bit of gentle prying, the camera unit ejected itself from the frame. I'll place this to the side and ensure that it stays dust-free. And now finally, with all of the parts needed to complete this repair, it's time to reassemble the iPhone XS Max into the new silver housing, starting off with the logic board. With the logic board and the camera now in place in the new housing, it's time for me to remove the original earpiece speaker from the old cracked screen so I can transfer it onto the new screen, as if I don't and I leave an earpiece speaker that doesn't match the original phone, Face ID will no longer function. With the original earpiece speaker transferred over to the new display, it's now time to go ahead and seat the Face ID into the frame and put some new adhesive on the back of the battery, get everything installed, and then we can put the screen on. So I'm editing the video and going through all my footage, and it seems like I literally never recorded the next clip of me installing all the parts back into the phone. It's really unfortunate. I'm not sure where the footage went. Maybe I forgot to hit record, maybe it got lost. Who knows, but that's 100% my bad. Now with everything seated into place, the battery, the Face ID, the logic board, and the camera, I can finally connect up the screen and plug the phone into a charger to ensure that it's working and test everything out before I seal it up finally with all the screws. Holding the power button, you can see we don't get any result. However, connecting the phone up to a charger, we're greeted with a charging symbol, which is a very, very good sign because prior to this repair, the phone did not charge at all. It seems like it's already wanting to turn on. And there we go. This iPhone XS Max is looking a lot better than it did when we started. And a big bonus, it actually charges. After booting the phone on, I've confirmed that most things are working great, including the charging, which is a huge win, a huge up from how it was before. However, I wish this video could end on a happy note, but it just can't. Unfortunately, the new screen that I bought has somehow got a touch defect where half of the touch screen does not work. So that was about 2 months ago. I've kept this iPhone XS Max sitting around and have decided that I am going to finish the repair once and for all. As of now, the screen is still cracked. I put the old screen back on here, but after about 2 months or so, I've gotten my hands on another iPhone XS Max. This device is similar to the last parts device, and it has a good display. There are very few scratches. Some of them are minor. It's pretty smudgy right now, so it may be hard to tell. But this screen is fully functional. I've already tested it. So now at this point, I want to finally finish this repair the right way by putting this working new display onto this iPhone XS Max, hopefully this time successfully. Let's get started. All right, so to begin this repair process, I'll first need to power off this part's iPhone XS Max. One thing that I've just noticed, don't know how I didn't see this before, there is one teeny tiny crack down in the corner where this chip is. It's not bad, it's not very noticeable, and it's most definitely better than this screen right here. So I will be continuing with the repair. You can see the back on this phone is cracked. I have put some tape over it, and that's because I've gotten a new tool that should make opening iPhones significantly easier. This is an iFixit clamp that will allow me to pull apart the screen from the back without prying at all of the edges. So this should really minimize risk of breaking screens from now on. Something that I've wanted for a long time. I can't believe it took me this long to get my hands on one. So without further ado, let's first remove the screen from this iPhone XS Max, and then we'll get to disassembling this one. As you can see, I've finally gotten this iPhone XS Max open. As you can tell, that took a lot longer than it should have. One of the main issues was that one of the pentalobe screws at the bottom of this iPhone was stripped right off the bat before I even got my hands on it. Completely forgot about that. I unfortunately did have to just completely rip the screw holder off of the screen. It looks like it is still there. It's just very deformed. I'll see if I can get it pushed back into place. However, I did turn the phone back on. I confirmed the screen is perfectly fine. There are no issues from me doing that. I'm glad I was able to get this open successfully. So I can now continue to remove the screen from here. And then it's a simple process to open this back up and get this new screen installed onto it. After installing the new screen on the silver iPhone XS Max, it's now confirmed that the entire touchscreen is working, and this repair is now finally completed. Now I'll go ahead and put all of the brackets back on the phone and put together the parts phone off camera, and then the restoration of this phone, after way too long, is finally done. And with that, after way more time, effort, and money than I ever wanted to put into a phone this old, the repair is thankfully finally completed. This iPhone XS Max has drugged me through hell. Initially, the charging port didn't work. It took me 3 days to even discover the phone worked. Over 6 months ago now, by the way. It took me 3 months to get my hands on the parts to fix it. Once I did, the screen crapped out on me. It sat around for another 2 months until I finally got around to fixing it once again when I got more XS Max parts. Once I got that completed, I discovered the power button was damaged. I fixed that off camera as it was a long and tedious process. And now, after way too much work, this iPhone XS Max is finally usable again. I've tested, everything is fully functional, and the screen is finally looking pretty fresh with few light scratches and one teeny tiny crack. Significantly better than the screen that was on here before. However, I really hate to say this, the one thing that I didn't realize until I got the screen on here was the burn-in. This display that I put on here has the keyboard, bottom of the Facebook application, some of the apps in the dock on the home screen, the call buttons, including the speaker and dial button, and even the status bar, unfortunately burnt into the screen. I will spend a few days seeing if I can get these images to fade a bit by leaving the phone on a white screen. However, I do think it may be stuck in a similar state to this for good. I really hate to see this. I put way too much time and effort into this, but I refuse to continue working on this phone. Because of all the repairs that have been done, and now the burn-in that I've discovered on the screen, this device, which I don't want anything else to do with, will be sold at a very fair price on my eBay account. If anyone's interested, this device is running iOS 16, meaning it is on a jailbreakable version. It has a battery health of, I believe, 85%. I'll have to confirm on my computer as it won't tell me because it's a replaced part. It's a 64GB model, carrier unlocked, and despite the screen burn-in, is in pretty decent shape and works flawlessly. I'm really glad to see this phone is finally fixed and fully usable again, albeit not as good as I hoped it would have turned out. Will I be fixing another one of these in the near future? Absolutely not. I think this is my sign to stay away from the iPhone XS Max. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I apologize that it took me 3 months to get this repair video finally finished. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. As of right now, only 18.5% of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you could do me a favor and please consider hitting that subscribe button, it would really help me in reaching my goal of 25,000 subscribers. And it just helps me to continue making more videos like these. Again, I want to say a huge thanks for 20,000 subscribers. It means the absolute world to me. And I'm just so happy that I can continue to make these videos for y'all to enjoy. I also can't forget about membership shoutouts. Huge shout out to these 7 members. I really appreciate all of my members. I'll leave a link down in the description to all of their channels. If you didn't know, I do have channel memberships. It costs $1.99 a month. You get this cool badge next to your name. And if you're interested, there's a link down in the description. Again, huge shout out to these 7 members. Link down in the description to their channels. Thank you so much for your support. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, peace out, guys.